I'm scared I'm gonna break it. Oh, that feels way too thick. Look at what I found at the local craft store. I found a bear pour kit for $4.99. I couldn't believe my eyes. I've been wanting to pour some paint on top of a bear for such a long time. My name is Randy and I like to make art and do crafts. I know I'm late to the game, but I finally got my hands on a affordable kit. Just a little disclaimer, I saw Nerdy Crafter do a video on the fake kits that were going around. I don't think this compares in any way to what she made. If you don't know, I'll put it on here somewhere on the screen. Her kit is just totally different, way better quality. But for me, this is something I could get my hands on in my country at a local store. So I'm just gonna unbox this thing. Let me get my sharp pointy thing. That actually came with the kit I bought from Nerdy Crafter. I did a video on it, I think even two. I put it somewhere up there. But let's just slide this out. So this is what's in the kit. One plastic plate, a really cheap brush, actually a really nice split cup. This is a hard one, which I actually prefer because I own the silicone ones. And the moment you fill it up to the top and start pouring, they tend to collapse. So I think this is going to be better. And then we have 3 paints. It's nice and springtimey. And oh, there's something else. There's a spoon. I didn't see that in the clear container. And then we got our bear. There's something in there. I think the camera is washing it out, but look at that. It looks kind of dirty. That's nasty. Well, that needs a clean. It does stand on its own, so that's a good thing. But I would have liked it to be sitting. It's too heavy. Okay. Let's see. Are there any instructions? Oh, there are. 1, 2, 3. That's it. So yeah, I think it's just as easy as pouring the paints. I don't know if they expect us to put it on here because that's really slippery. But you know what? I'm gonna clean this one first. So before I wipe this bear down, I actually beheaded it because I want to take that thing out if I can get it. Okay, so this was on the inside. I also think I'm going to carefully just clean up this edge a little bit before I put the head back on. That's nasty. It's fine. Hopefully I can still get the head on. There it goes. So let me clean it. So I'll put it at a different angle and I'm gonna open these paints first. Let's just shake. They are really watery. So I don't know if it's going to be any good, but we're here to find out. If you use a split cup, the colors that are on the outside tend to be the dominant ones. Let's just pour the pink. Okay, there's still a little bit in there, but I don't want to overfill it. You can always put some more. Let's pour it in here, something like that. And just the white. Uh-oh, I can see an issue. This one's empty. That one's not nearly as full. It is what it is. This is what the kit provides, so this is what we're going to be using. Let me think. I probably want to try and pour some here first, because I don't think if you pour from the top straight down, it's going to be running all the way here. Or maybe that's why they give you the spoon. And I'm pretty sure the same issue is with the arms. I'm scared. I don't think there's going to be enough paint. Maybe we do need to put it on the plate. It's so slippery though. Let's just do it like that. I'm scared. And you know what? Let's just go. Oh, this is not going as well as I expected. We need to get some on the ears. Well, let's just pour. Well, as I thought, most of it is just ending up on the plate. And these colors are just gonna mix into a giant puddle. And I think the back is looking okay, but the orange is so bright compared to the rest. It is sticking quite nicely to the top. I think I want to try and turn it around. See what we got at the back. The back is actually looking really cool. Can you see? That's so nice. I'm so sad that this is just a puddle of paint. Let me think. I do have a little bit more of the pink and orange in here. Do I try and put some white acrylic paint in here? I got this white. That needs quite a bit of a shake, I think. Let's just see what happens. gonna pour some in here first. Ugh, see, that's absolutely horrid. I'm just gonna try and put some water in here. Oh, okay, good thing I have a small apartment. Let me just shake. It's actually not too bad. I don't know if those were bubbles or clumps. I think it looks good. I'm just gonna pour some on the arm and see what we get. Well, just a lot of white. Okay, that looks a little bit better. There are a lot of clumps in here. Okay, that's better. I don't know what happened, but I bumped into his face and it all went downhill from there. I had some newer red and newer yellow and both have blobbies. That's way too thick, you can see that right away. So let's pour that back in there. Oh, that feels way too thick. Like, how does this happen? Maybe a little bit too much white, but I don't care. Bye-bye bubbles. So I'm just going to be covering the rest of the bear with this paint, and we can see the difference between the two brands. I'm going to be cutting out so much footage. I don't know if you can see it, but there are spots that the paint just didn't want to stick to. I ended up scraping as much paint as I could from the little plate, but there's still some paint in here and I cannot lift it up. So it's probably going to end up being stuck to his feet. You know what? Let's just wait and see how it dries, and I'll see you in 24, 48 hours. So I'm about to spray this with a gloss varnish because this has been 2 days and hope you can hear that, but it's still sticky. It's cured, but it's sticky, and everything, every little hair and thing, it just sticks to it. So I'm gonna spray it with some gloss varnish. So here's the final product, and I'm actually quite happy with the results. I really love how the back turned out. I didn't want to put a matte varnish on him, so I went for the gloss, but at least he's not sticky anymore. So that's a good thing. I think the difference between the two types of paint in colors is actually not too bad. The only big difference is my white is so much more white than the one from the kit. Like, you can barely see some white in there. So if we compare him to the box, I think it comes close. But do I really think that you can make this bear with this kit using only the products that are inside? No, because if you're using what's in the box, it's gonna look more like this than like that. And that's just because the amount of paint you get in these kinds of bottles is just not enough to make the whole bear. And that's because you waste a lot of paint. There's just a really, really thin coat on the bear itself. So you probably only need this amount of paint to fully coat him. But that's if you are able to pour it all over without missing any parts. As you can see on the underside, there are still bare spots, pun intended, like the underside of the neck right there. So do I think that this kit is worth your money? Probably not. Or maybe I need to rephrase it. Is this kit worth your money? Yes, if you know what you're doing and you have some extra paint, then I would say yes, buy it, because €5, the price of the bear alone is like at least 3 times the amount. So if you're just buying it for the bear, I would say it's worth your money. If you're doing it to have a fun experience, I probably would just pass it by. But yeah, he did come out really, really cute. I really love how the back looks. If you have any questions, just leave them down below in the comment section. But for now, I want to thank you for watching, and I'd love to see you in the next one. Bye, everyone! Now I have to switch off the camera with my paint hands.